Robbie.
It's happening.
What's up, dude?
You know,
Exciting times.
Bouncing around.
I feel so unbranded.
You kidding me?
Liz, we need to start representing better.
I was worried. I was messaging our graphic designer yesterday because we were in a Prosper meeting, and I was like, I can't wear a t-shirt to like present and do all my council crap that I have to do. Do we have like lapel pins? Can I get scarf?
What's up?
Hey, Liz.
Am I too casual?
No, you're great.
No,
you look good.
Yoni always looks perfect.
He's always a notch above, right? Always.
He looks like he smells really good.
What? I smell good. It's because I have a stew here. It smells like meat, you know?
Last 2 days in a row, you've had that for lunch, huh?
I had it Monday, so 3 days.
Oh, okay, 3 days.
I just had
it. Looks good.
Thank you. What was I about to say, Liz? You asked about a warehouse, so you need just a broker here in New Jersey? What was the deal about a warehouse?
Indian company that's looking for a warehouse, but they're not looking to staff it.
You're looking to buy or to rent?
To rent, annual lease.
Okay, what's the square footage, you know?
Yeah, I can tell you.
Why New Jersey? Like any specific reason? Because it's not the cheapest place. This is like the New York vicinity area.
They want New York, New Jersey for some reason, and I'm not arguing with them.
Yeah, got it. Okay, that's what it is. I can get somebody local here to help him out.
Where is that thread?
Yeah, you can follow up later. Just let me know, I guess, square footage. So ballpark.
10,000 square feet.
The budget that they know of?
I think it's as much as it costs.
Okay, I have somebody in mind.
Great. That's great.
Nice guy, kind of young. I mean, youngish. His name is Max. Also, I'll try to look up his information and make a connection with you, and you can connect him to whoever needs him.
Thank you.
My pleasure. So Rambo, you were with us today, huh? Good.
Yeah. I was talking with Chris, and he said, I think it was like a week or two ago, and he said you were going to be on there. So I was like, oh, well, send me the thing. I'll jump on.
That's great. Very nice. All right. So this is the day after the announcement, after you did the press release. That's great. Right? This is really your first.
You got yourself the best darn marketer in e-commerce.
Thanks, Liz.
Yeah, we're very grateful. Very grateful.
You're a legend, Robbie.
I appreciate it. I'll send you that check. It's in the mail.
It's my affiliate payout.
Exactly.
We went to visit Robbie in San Francisco.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that. They flew out and saw me. So
that was my first flight after the pandemic, since the pandemic. So we flew out to San Francisco, me and Eitan, to visit Rob and hang out a little bit.
So you get two dudes in suits at your door. Did you think you were in trouble?
No, we met up in San Francisco, but no, they told me they were coming. It was cool. It worked out really good.
So we had some
beers.
In
fact, I'm flying out Monday to go see him. So
he's coming to Jay-Z.
Oh.
Yep.
And you'll all be at Prosper, right?
Oh yeah.
So now it's on Robbie to set it up.
Yeah, I've got to follow up again and see if they're gonna help us with either insurance claim or something. But if not, we gotta. Either way, I think we gotta. They obviously. Yeah,
we need to set the wheels in motion. We got like 60 days, and companies might be tight on delivery, so we probably as of next week, just clutch it.
Yep, you got it.
Liz, are you speaking? Because you were last year, right?
Yeah,
you are speaking.
But because the council felt like the agenda was way council heavy, so Jason Boyce, Peter Kearns, and I decided to triple up. But then Jason signed up for 2 other things. I was like, dude, that totally defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
So, but we're the top sponsor, so we get to do a event webinar.
Oh, okay.
It kind of evens out. Plus, being on the council, Chris and I will both be all over the place announcing.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Yoni, did Brandon get back to us on that whole thing?
No, can you reach out to him?
Yeah, that's easy. Yep. I'll take care of it.
Let's see what's going on. So you want to also let us know the list stuff that we discussed last week about, I guess, sponsoring a party there or something in the Stratosphere and all the stuff around.
Yeah, I have a meeting with those guys next week. The Strat, because the cap is 110 people that we can have at that event, but then the VIP room after is bigger. So I'm thinking we'll figure something out.
Okay, let us know if you ever want us to pitch in. We're ready. If not, it's all good.
Awesome.
Very good. So it's 6:30 on the hour. So how long is this gonna be, this party?
It just depends.
So like
20
was the law?
people RSVP'd, but nobody has come yet. So I'm gonna post in the meetup saying we're here and
Doors are open.
doors open and we're ready to talk
Rumble.
profitability. It would be great if I could spell.
Hmm. Whew. This is my 4th live event today. I was telling Leo earlier.
I know.
Actually got a haircut and a shave today for these live events. But one of them was 3 hours long.
3 hours
Jesus.
long.
So the one.
Not the
Oh,
Sharon one. That
no,
was that was like
that
a
was
little
one.
over an hour.
That was an hour. 4, 5. This is my 6th hour. If
Mhm.
so, I already have 5 hours behind me of live streaming. So if there's gonna be an hour or two, it's gonna hit the 6 to 7 hours. Should give me a raise, right, Rob? Who do I talk to about a raise here?
I'll have to talk to you when I get in. We'll see about that.
Hook me up, man. Hook me up.
I'm just coming because I want to try that soup you keep eating at lunch.
Oh, you gotta be here
We're
Thursday.
sitting there talking, and he's just like, and I'm like, man, that looks really good.
So every day I eat the same lunch. I have the same.
Well, I
bowl
will
of
be there
soup.
Thursday.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
coming in the
that soup
office.
actually that soup is ready every day. But this
Oh,
one is
okay.
actually only on Thursday. That's different, actually, a bit different.
Oh, okay.
What's in
Well,
it?
I'll be in the office Wednesday morning. So
Yeah.
Yoni, what's in it?
So this one is has like beans, barley, and meat.
nice.
They call it cholent. I think I
Tomato-
mentioned that to you
tomato
once.
paste?
Tomato paste, I think also. So this is the what the Jewish people usually used to eat back in the day on the Sabbath, because technically speaking, we're not allowed to light fire and cook and work on the Sabbath and the 7th day on Saturday. So the Jewish people used to prepare a stew before the Saturday and let it sizzle and cook until the Saturday itself, right? And then they used to eat it nice big warm stew, because you can cook it for 24 hours or more and it tastes delicious. So we usually eat it on Saturdays, but it's very fashionable right now to do it on Thursday night right before the Sabbath, right before the Saturday, to just get warm, and started. So they call it cholent. I think cholent is from French or something. It means kind of a stew or something warm or something like that.
And what was the one you had on Monday? What kind of soup was that?
So that's what I have every day for lunch. It's
Okay.
just vegetable soup, nothing
Ah,
fancy.
That's
Same
down my
soup
alley
every day.
right there.
Yeah, there we go. So we're gonna hook you up with that, and maybe you're
For
gonna
sure.
start speaking the Yoni language or something.
I'm trying. I'm
Are
trying.
you a vegetarian?
Pescatarian.
Pescatarian.
So seafood.
What does that mean?
Means
just-
seafood is the only meat he eats.
Yeah, vegetarian and seafood.
Like salmon, fish, and stuff?
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
Lobster.
no chicken,
shrimp.
no
No.
beef.
I'm not saying that I'm super strict at it, but I try not to.
I gotcha. All right. We got David. Welcome to the game.
Hey guys,
Oh,
Good to
How
see
you
you.
doing?
intimate crowd tonight, huh?
Yeah,
It is. Party of
see.
one.
stragglers. Chris had a
Yeah,
family
busy people.
so he can't make it, but
Oh, is he not coming on?
no, he had a
Oh, that's
family
it, I'm
emergency
leaving.
he had to
No,
deal
just
with.
kidding. Oh, that's a bummer.
but he definitely lined it up early because he messaged me at 7 something this morning.
Ah, got you.
Oh, I got a call at 12:30 last night.
Yeah, I hope it's gonna be all right over there.
Yeah, no, it's being sorted out, but just he couldn't make it.
Yeah. Okay, so what's new? We're gonna give it, I guess 5-6 more minutes to everybody to break it in before we
Yeah,
start. But until then, let's talk headlines. What's the headline news in the industry right now? Rob, you can pitch in. Liz, Leah.
There's so much
I
going on right now.
Finally
choose a few,
figured out
choose-
why Amazon is so into pesticides at the moment.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
they've been doing that for a while, huh? I mean, that's
Yeah,
been
because
crazy.
the EPA filed suit against them last year.
Who did? Who filed suit?
The EPA,
EPA.
Environmental Protection Agency.
Ah.
No, how about the big bomb they just dropped with what was it? All the fake reviews and stuff, and what was it? Aki, some of the big names got hit.
Oh
hit
yeah,
bad.
the
$1 billion brand
data
got suspended.
breach.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
crazy because they've been
There,
using.
I'm not sure what to
sellers.
believe in that, because I was reading someone's theory that Amazon actually purchased a Chinese review company, and that's how they accessed a whole bunch of the
Huh.
data.
That'd be interesting.
Okay,
Yeah.
they did that. They got the data and then they wiped out all the sellers. That's what happened. That's what they're saying happened.
Yeah, they're identifying everybody based on that data.
My favorite headline
Wow.
for that was TechCrunch's Prime today, gone tomorrow. Thought
I
that was
posted that actually. Yeah, that's the exact. Yeah, actually, I shared that along. I found it to be unique headline. You know.
I'm excited for Lena Khan coming in to office. That'll be good.
Lena Khan, who's that?
She was one of the main people who created the case that Congress had against Amazon being a monopoly.
So you looking forward to that?
She's up for head of FTC, I think, at the moment.
Got it. And you excited because how's it gonna be good for the sellers?
Well, because a lot of the anti-competitive behavior that Amazon is doing, she actually understands and seems to be interested in actually doing something about it.
Got it. All right, that sounds good. All right, big. Things are always moving. That's what's unique about this whole industry. It's super hyper dynamic. Every day is like thrills. Things get kick in and out. But we are dealing with the second largest company in the world, at least in market cap value, right? I think Apple's still first, around the $2 trillion, and Amazon's about almost $2 trillion.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in that swamp, quite a big ocean of swamp, but yeah, it's very exciting and exhilarating. A lot of moving parts. Which other headlines do we have so far, Robbie? What else you got? You're like a walking, news
I gotta
newsroom.
look back. I gotta look back at my one of my headlines I keep posting.
Well,
Yeah.
Amazon's about to hire a whole lot of people. What is it? 75,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
saw
think
actually go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. No worries.
I was gonna say I saw an interesting one though that was talking about with them not winning that whole with the whole thing with them becoming a unionized, and they were talking about how it's getting a lot more strict, I guess. And then I saw something about somewhere new is trying to unionize, different state is trying to unionize. So that's kind of an interesting one. And then in the last week and a half, the whole thing happened here in California with the courts basically saying that Amazon could be sued, which allowed a couple of lawsuits to open up that were trying to obviously sue. They were trying to sue Amazon, and then it kind of got thrown back in the courts. But California said, no, you can sue Amazon.
So sellers can sue Amazon, or
yeah. At least if I guess if you're either a California purchaser, I guess it'd be the way to put it. Buyer.
Yeah, California-based. What's it called? When you sue in court, what do you call that? There's the defendant, and then there's the plaintiff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you're a plaintiff that's based out of California, they can actually submit a lawsuit. Yeah.
Yep. Against Amazon. So that was interesting. I'm just going through it right now. Let's see.
Keep going. We got Don Jackson. Don, welcome in.
Hi guys, it's my first time here.
Hi,
All
Don.
right, welcome
Welcome.
Hey, Don.
Nice to meet all of you.
So unfortunately, Chris had a family emergency and he can't make it, but I'm Liz Downing. I'm the e-commerce marketing manager at Takeometrics, and I'm co-host of this meetup because Chris and Leah are some of my very, very best friends in the whole industry. So we've got Leah McHugh, who is partner at e-commerce Chris. She knows all the stuff. And tonight is Yoni Mazer, who is what is your title now, Yoni?
CGO, Chief Growth Officer.
Growth Officer of GETIDA. And we've got Rob Stanley, also from GETIDA, who is their new CMO and is the notorious most awesome marketer in the e-commerce space.
Oh, thanks, Liz. Man, I'm just going to keep writing that check. It's getting bigger each time.
The dude has a gift. He just has a gift. So the announcement just actually hit yesterday that Rob had joined GETIDA.
Yeah.
So we're lucky to have both of them tonight. I guess we should just get, so people are going to roll in. We're going to have to repeat ourselves. This is recording. So, we've got iPhone. Connecting to audio.
I think it's Apple computers in the house.
Hello,
Apple.
iPhone. I told you to stop that. So we do these once a month. We try to invite people who have lots of great information that help you be more profitable, help you improve your strategy. help you get out of fixes that you might have gotten in, all that jazz. When we can, we do them in person. So why don't we, Don, where are you based? Are you in the Boston area?
Yeah, I'm in Somerville.
Somerville, right on, right on. So Takeometrics is based in Boston. I actually live in Richmond, Virginia, so I'm the weirdo from down south. But Leah is also in the Boston area.
Yeah, I'm in Boston and Chris is in Cambridge. So
As you can hear, Leah is not a native of Boston.
And so
I am actually. I just grew up somewhere else. I was from here and then I left and came back.
And David, how about you?
I'm in the Boston, Cambridge area as well, actually. I used to go to the in-person meetups whenever we were still having them. That was nice.
Did you go to the one that I spoke at?
I went to the last, maybe
at the
5 or 6.
Yotel. It was in 2019 at the Yotel in the Seaport.
No, I haven't been to the Yotel.
It was a scorcher.
Yeah, okay.
Hello, iPhone. Do you want to go on camera and show
Name
us
yourself.
not actually an iPhone? Or maybe you're calling in from the road, in which case it's not safe to click
Yeah,
it.
so keep
Yeah.
yourself
That's a
anonymized.
possibility.
So Yoni, where are you based?
Teaneck, New Jersey, about 10 minutes away from Manhattan. So yeah, I don't know if you want to call it New York or not, New York City.
Most people would just say New York City, but
Yeah.
you're too honest for that. And Rob, it's early for him right now. It's only 3:42 for him because you're over on the left coast, right?
Yeah. So I'm actually based. It's easier to just say San Jose, California, Silicon Valley, so just south of San Francisco. And yeah, actually, well, I work East Coast time, so it's the end of my day. But always pleasure to jump on with Liz and Yoni and everybody and Leah. I think we met, but not. It was so brief. I think we probably don't even remember.
Yeah,
So-
I think it's mostly email. So
Yes,
it's
exactly.
good to see faces for a change.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
So
good
well,
old
yeah.
LinkedIn feed.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure more people will jump on, and it's always great to meet all new people. So
Right on. So where should we start? Because I do have a presentation if needed or slides. If that is something everybody wants to kind of jump into, or we can keep it casual.
We should definitely run through that, and then if you'll send it to me, we can also post it in the Meetup group. People really like that. Just take we can make a PDF of it.
Yeah, I'll send it over. No worries. Yep.
Notes
I
about
guess,
all the mean things you say about Robbie and
yeah.
Is
let me
everyone-
get my slides out.
Are most
Go ahead.
people here doing Seller Central? Is anybody working in the vendor program?
I
I
have done
have in the
vendor.
past,
Yeah.
but
and in the group, Don, there's a mix. So there are people that are 1P, there are people that are 3P. David, are you on Vendor Central or Seller Central?
For
Are you on Vendor Central or Seller Central?
Seller Central.
Seller Central.
Yeah.
Don, you seller or a vendor?
I'm mostly vendor. So I have I help a bunch of companies sell online. So usually they're manufacturers that are selling on Amazon, and I'll just help them do it better. And then sometimes we end up, often they'll also have a Seller Central store,
Yeah.
et cetera.
When you hit Seller Central, you do fulfilled by merchant, or you do FBA, or both?
Both. And some of it will also do direct fulfillment, through the vendor program. There's a lot of different things going on. And really part of why, I've been meaning to get together in a meetup group like this just to have other people to talk to, but I'm struggling with a bunch of issues like all the product costs going up. And when you're in the vendor program, you can't just increase price.
right.
And it's been a real struggle to get Amazon to accept cost increases. So this was I had a short little list of things I wanted to touch base on. That was one of them.
Don, also, so I don't know if you were here for it. So I'm with Takeometrics, and we have a lot of customers that are 1P. So a lot of our analysts are pretty familiar with Vendor Central. So if you want to email me, I can set you up with a meeting with a couple of people so that
So Techometrics, I'm just,
Techometrics is a
Yeah, I just
software
looked
and
at it.
service company. So we mainly help you with your advertising.
Put in the chat, Liz, the URL so you can visit.
yeah, no, I think I just found you. So AI powered technology and managed services.
Right. So the managed services part of things, that's when you don't want to use our self-serve tool, which is called Flywheel, and that helps you optimize your advertising on Amazon. And soon the self-serve will actually let you manage your Walmart ads too. But managed services, we do both Walmart and Amazon. And a lot of our Amazon customers are on 3P or on 1P or are a hybrid. So we've got people in managed services, some of our analysts that have helped our 1P sellers with certain problems. So I'd love to get you into contact with some of those folks so that if you've got questions we can't answer tonight, you at least have a network.
Sure, and I am actually, I don't mean to steer the meetup, but I'll just throw out a few things that I'm interested in talking about. And one of them is sort of using machine learning for bid optimization. And I've talked to a few companies, and I'd just be interested in kind of hearing the different models that people are using, because I find it's a little bit black box, and it just makes me, like, I hate like sending all the data over and then just sort of getting a result, and I don't, without having ways of knowing if it's really better and sort of understanding what's going on. And I've built some tools on my end where I'm using sort of cluster analysis to adjust bids on similar keywords, some things like that. So anyway, I'd just be really interested. I feel like I've been using homemade tools and I should probably go find a solution, but I'm not sure how to judge what's good.
I love you said the words cluster analysis. That's the first time I kind of hear about that kind of phrase. It's a cluster of things they use to analyze what's going on, and you got to
Right.
streamline it or make it more centralized to something more cohesive, I guess. But yeah, Liz, you were saying?
Yeah, Don, I just chatted you my email address.
Oh, great.
Shoot me an email and I'll get you a couple conversations with some people. Add to the fact that I think I need to introduce you to Karina McLeod because she's a particular expert in the vendor space. I don't know if you've met her. She's the e-commerce nurse, but she started out at Amazon UK on the vendor side of things. So that might have been the UK, but there's still a lot of overlap in how the programs work. And she's kind of a subject matter expert. So I'd be happy to introduce you to her too.
That would be great.
Yeah.
That actually reminded me of some news that I just recalled. We're starting to see Amazon restricting sellers from selling items that are being sold through vendor.
Yeah, we're totally seeing that.
Like we've seen them do it sort of like covertly, but now they're just like straight up saying like you are not eligible to sell this product because it's being sold directly by Amazon.
Yeah, so we just had that happen with somebody, with a client, and they they basically said, actually what they did, they opened us up for another category because they said, no, we don't want you to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we said, well, we don't sell with you in that category. And they said, okay, now you do.
I just mean like anybody, like nobody else can sell that product because Amazon is selling it through vendor.
Really?
Like they're actually like straight up saying that to people now. We have a
that is
notification.
new. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying so it's not like you were selling on a vendor, so they know your LLC, your tax ID, and now you're trying to use the same tax ID and LLC?
This customer wasn't a vendor. They went to list a product, and you know how it gives you the like, are you eligible to list this as new, used, refurbished?
Yep.
When they went to list it new, it says you're not eligible because this product is currently being sold by Amazon.
Right, and they're not even they never.
They're not the vendor. They have nothing to do with vendor.
Got
Yeah.
it. So completely separate, because I feel like if Amazon tries to pick up, like, oh, you're the same person, like you know, you put in that phone number or even a matching cookies on a browser, and they'll then decide you're the same, and they will limit you there. And I think they're tracking, you know, if people were artificially creating reviews. I mean, I think they're using all kinds of machine learning to look for that.
Yeah, they are. In terms of relation, it usually takes more than just an IP hit. Because tons of accounts are related by IP. So they're looking at, multiple areas where there's overlap. So things like phone numbers, like emails, sign-ins. So if it's just IP, they tend not to do any restrictions.
But I wonder if they're doing some sort of matching at the browser level with cookies or something.
They can see that, but again, that's a soft hit. So Chris, who I work with, he used to work in seller performance and executive seller relations. So he actually used to do that, seeing how accounts were related. And so they can see that sort of thing, but they tend not to take action on those sorts of relations because they're so weak. It's only if it's that plus something else that they'll start to take action. And again, now they're only taking action if one of the related accounts is suspended.
So how are you, do people mind that I just sort of throw questions out?
No, this is all for you. This is
Am
for
I
the
blowing up
seller.
your
Yeah.
meeting? So,
This is for the sellers, yeah.
So this is sort of another thing I've struggled with. The question is, so with a vendor account, I can have multiple accounts all tied up under one login. No issue there. But if I have multiple Seller Central accounts, so really they're client accounts, and I'm accessing them all,
Yep.
Can I do it all on the same email? And I think there are issues potentially.
So the thing with
how
related,
are people structuring that?
The thing with the related is that it used to be that you weren't allowed to have multiple accounts. So if Amazon related you to another account and those accounts were, say, selling the same products or even selling products within the same category, then they would take action and suspend one or both of the accounts because you were violating their multiple account policy.
Right.
They've actually removed that policy now, but they still have a policy whereby which if you are related to a suspended account, then they will suspend any account that's related to the suspended account.
Really
so
bad.
The issue for agencies is that if one of your clients gets suspended, theoretically that could cause all of your clients to be suspended because you've now related these accounts to each other.
So how do people structure, like, how are people
tell you.
structuring things?
I'll tell you if I may. So
Please.
it's actually a bit simpler than most people think. So what you can do is every Amazon Seller Central account has what they call the master account. That master account is the supreme account where you can actually change the credit card on file, the bank account information, tax ID, all that good stuff. So that account you should not be touching as a solution provider, as an agency. What you want to do is tell your client, hey, go to your master account, go to user permissions. Here's an email I'm going to give you, right? You're going to send me an invite to become a limited user on this account, and they're going to give you access. They can also revoke it, and then you have one login. As an agency, you log into that email address, that login, and then you're going to be able to scroll between the accounts of all your clients.
Got it.
I can still
That's how it
relate them.
Yeah, they're related, but it's very soft because you're limited permission. So they tell you, okay, you're going to only be doing advertising, shipments, and customer service.
Right, but like last year we saw people getting suspended because they used the same warehouse. So it was a limited user.
I'm just saying, like, how do you structure it where it's that's how I see the agency structure. They have one login, and then they can scroll between the accounts. They have limited permissions, so you're not abrasive. Because think about it, like your agency, your employees. If one of them has access to the master account, they can change the bank account and clean them up, wipe them out. Also
Right.
for liability reasons. So those limited user permission accounts were actually, I guess, created with the mindset of having team members or solution providers accessing your account with limited permission, so it's monitored. But nevertheless, it doesn't completely change the fact, like Leo was saying, that obviously they can see that everything's related. So if one apple is bad, it can basically make the whole basket bad.
We generally recommend using different emails for each account that you're logging into, as well as different phone numbers.
That's what I've been doing, and it's like, oh, it's such a pain in the ass.
It is a pain in the ass. I mean, some people are going so far as they're using a separate dedicated VPN for each account that they're logging into. My concern with that is that that's so easy to mess up, and then it looks like you're trying to hide things.
No,
Yeah.
you just
It's
get
just different emails. Like the IPs can be the same, fine, but it's just like that little bit more
I've just been
separation.
like getting new Gmail accounts and.
Yep.
But
There's actually companies out there that will do remote computers, so you can actually remote
Yeah.
into the computer, but just make sure it's US based.
Yep, and
But
you
you
get a
can
static
remote into
IP.
it.
You get a static
Yeah.
IP on a virtual computer, and you're good to go. It costs $10 a
Yeah.
month, and you have an IP. It's always the same IP address. It's not ever shifting and changing. It's not being masked or anything. That's also an opportunity, a possibility. But I'll put it this down. So the clients or accounts that you're working with, they are been they're problematic. They tend to get into trouble with suspensions, warnings.
No, they're pretty good. I mean, they're
If they're all vanilla,
good. I
not
mean,
much
every once in
reason
a
for
while
it
they
to.
screw up something, but they're not trying to do any tricky stuff.
Yeah, if they're mostly vanilla, all kosher stuff, it's not a big deal. But if no, extra caution never hurt anybody. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, so it sounds like I just wondered. Sounds like everyone's
No,
having
great
the same problem.
questions, valid, real concerns. So no worries.
I actually had a question that's kind
Yeah.
of unrelated, but Leah, this is mainly for you. I've got somebody who had previously like had their size variated products together and then they broke them out per Amazon recommendation and they can't get them back together. Do you know anybody that helps restructure listings, the parent-child relationship?
Why did Amazon suggest that they separate them?
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
So-
Generally, they only suggest that if they were incorrect variations in the first place. So, I mean, you can generally, if you're having troubles doing an update, I recommend doing a flat file update. And if that doesn't do it, then calling calling catalog with the batch ID and having them manually push it through. But in that case, I would want to look at the variations first because it sounds like they were maybe incorrect to begin with, and I don't want them to get in trouble.
Can they pay you to do it? Because
Yeah.
they just said basically just send
Well, I won't do it, but I can walk them through it and get on the call with catalog with them.
Okay.
So that just a couple that was interesting. You were just saying you send in the bulk file, but then actually ask for a call on the catalog.
Sometimes it just
That's
goes
the
through the
first
flat
step.
file. If it doesn't, then the easiest way is to actually call, not email. Email gets you nowhere. But if you actually call with the option of
Right.
file upload issue, you get put through to somebody in catalog and they can actually manually push it through.
In other words, seller support is one thing. Catalog team are a bit more advanced, or
A little bit. I mean, sometimes you have to call more than once because some of them are better than others.
And where are you calling when you call the catalog team? Is that
They're actually,
seller
you're
company?
requesting a callback.
Okay, so I just did that the other day, and I just went sort of Amazon Business, but is there a particular number you use to get a call back?
So it's through Seller Central. Through the help menu, the option is fix upload issue.
Okay.
Or
yeah.
file. It's either fix upload issue or file upload issue. That'll connect you directly to somebody in the catalog team.
So so I would be doing.
but
it
they call you.
with
You
the
gonna
vendor
provide them
side.
a phone number?
They call you, so you give them a
Yeah, they
number
call
and they
you.
call you back within like 30 seconds.
But Liz, I had a little more information on variations because we've been doing a ton of stuff with that, and it seems like before you'd send the sheet and they would just set up your variation. You could just tell them, you want to vary on style and color or whatever. And now they've automated all this stuff. So where we had variations that were looking just fine, the automation system came along and broke them apart, and they're varying on. I mean, I think it depends on the category, what things need to match for the variation. But we found, for instance, like any inconsistencies, like if the model name was just spelled differently or style, or so once we got all those things lined up, the variation fell back in line by itself.
Through the vendor side, you mean?
So this was on the vendor side, but
Okay.
I do feel like a lot of the functionality kind of works the same in both areas, but usually
Yeah. So on the seller side, normally if they break up your variation, it's because you violated the variation policy.
Oh, right.
And usually get a warning when they do it. But yeah, so the vendor side is a little bit different because again, they have those more automated tools where they're separating
so the
out.
automation's not happening on the seller side?
Not really. I mean, some of it. So like they have spiders that crawl through in terms of like recategorizing products and things like that. So sometimes you'll see variations splitting up when somehow one color gets put into a different category than the rest of the variations. But for the most part, the variation is from seller contributions.
Do you guys mind if I bring up another issue here? I have a client, so they set up their product and they set it up with one particular brand name, which was sort of a slightly longer version of their actual brand name. And then in brand registry, they registered their trademark, but the trademark was for a slightly different brand name. I mean, they're close, but not the same. And so the problem is now we lost control of all the product where the brand name isn't matching with the registry. And even when we go to make updates, they're like, yeah, we take input from a bunch of sources and we're not making your updates, even though we're the manufacturer, brand owner, own the UPCs, everything. And so we've been trying to get them to change it, but we're basically trying to get them to update the brand name on like 2/3 of the catalog. And this has been going on for months now.
You're not going to like the answer to this.
Okay, well, let's hear,
What's the
let's
answer?
hear it.
So Amazon's policy is that any change to the brand attribute constitutes a materially different product and you need to create a new ASIN.
So we lose all, I mean, these things have like 1,000 reviews.
Yeah, that's why you weren't going to like my answer.
No,
You
let me
can
understand
try to open a case
Oh,
with
it's
catalog.
like I'm on my 10th case and
Right. And so there isn't an option. So like with things like that, if it is like something that you're legitimately allowed to do, I would suggest escalating it past the catalog team.
So
But
how do I
because
do that?
this,
I've asked
well,
for that.
I wouldn't recommend
No,
that.
let
in
me
this
let me
case.
understand. You're saying that there was a typo. This whole thing is because of a typo. The
No,
name
I mean, I'll even tell you
the name of the
product.
brand is Nike. It was so they spelled it N.
No. So it's a smaller company. I'll tell you the brand. It's a company. They're called Mobo Cruiser. So they have these recumbent bikes, but so they started calling it Mobo Cruiser, and some stuff was loaded as Mobo, and some of it was loaded as Mobo Cruiser. But the trademark they actually hold is Mobo. So when brand registry all got rolling and they actually registered the trademark, like all of a sudden we lost authority over the products.
Yeah, we have a lot of sellers in that situation.
And so it's just like, I mean,
You're trying to carve the cruiser, the second part of basically the second word. So just keep it.
Yeah, we're just trying to cut it off. And I guess they added it. They had some idea of adding it because there are some other brands called Mobo on Amazon, like very small, like 1 or 2 other brands. So when we were getting into like, hey, we need to change it, this is really our product, they were very much like, well, what categories do you have your product in? Because they don't want to have more than one Mobo in a relevant category.
Well, they don't want you infringing on each other's trademarks.
Yeah, there's no one else in our category. But yeah, I guess, boy, I'm looking for any advice because it's just like the listings are screwed up and we can't fix them.
I mean, the long and hard path, which is creating brand new ASINs with the right naming, eventually will take you to the promised land because you'll have full control of the listing, and then the name will be correct, and you're not gonna have any issues going forward. That's a long and hard path, but if you ever do it, maybe you can fade it out. Keep rolling with what you have. If it's generating sales, start the new track and grow into it, then fade away the other ones. If I don't know if it makes sense,
like we won't be able to set it up on a variation with 2 different brands. And
why is it 2 different brands? I'm not sure I understand.
Well,
the brand attributes
it is
different.
the same. It's the same item, but they literally put in 2 different.
2 different what? Sorry.
The products have one brand name, and the actual brand is slightly different.
I'm not sure I'm following.
Do you have on that account, are they seller or vendor?
Both.
Do they have an account manager on either of those?
No, unfortunately, that's part of the problem.
You know any account managers in Amazon?
But I do. And actually, I was trying to find my way to an account manager or a vendor manager in cycling. Does anybody know anybody?
Not off the top of my head, but maybe Chris does or something like that. So,
what I'm finding is the account managers are a little leery about recommending other account managers particularly when it's a difficult problem. Like
I was just suggesting, if you have an account
costs.
manager, they can potentially escalate it for you internally. The reason I advise against escalating is because I've seen sellers try to escalate this before And they were essentially told by executive seller relations that that is considered product detail page tampering. And if they find out that they've done it, they'll remove the account.
So I wonder if it's different on the vendor side. And frankly, these guys within their catalog have the brand two different ways, like the correct way and the incorrect way.
Yeah, I mean, so most of the people that do that do have it both ways in their catalog. But yeah, I mean, we've heard from the policy people that they don't look upon it kindly, even when it is just an error. I think there was a lot of abuse around this, and so they've just had to take a hard line, even when it is just an error.
What else you got, Don?
No, actually, let's
Yeah.
wait because there
Keep
are
going.
other people here. Rashika and Sohail.
I know
are
I'm being
here.
very selfish. Thank you.
No, Don, you're great. And we'll do more questions at the end. And also, I sent you my email address. So more hive mind to come for you. But I want to introduce everybody to Yoni and to GETIDA because every single, no matter how big or small you are, if you're selling on FBA, you need Yoni and GETIDA. So Yoni, why don't you talk a little bit about your history as a seller and why you saw the need for a service like this, what the service does, what makes it different from other things like it, and maybe I should repeat that after you start the first part.
You got it. So I do have slides. I don't know if you want them eventually or
Pop
not.
them up.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
do it.
pop them up. Okay, let's do that. It'll just give more structure and visuals. Hopefully make it a smoother ride. Okay, you guys can see it.
And if you have questions from the audience, if questions come in, feel free to unmute yourself and ask them. Yoni is very collaborative, and it's hard to get him to break his stride. He'll just roll. So if you have
Yeah.
questions, if you want to say, hey, wait a minute, what about this? Go ahead and do it.
Yeah, by all means. So welcome everybody. Here's, I guess, a few, simple, I want to say, strategies for increasing your Amazon profits. We're going to jump right into it. But before I'll introduce myself a little bit more in depth. So I'm the co-founder and CGO of GETIDA, the Chief Growth Officer. What is GETIDA? Is it GETIDA? Is it GETIDA? It doesn't really matter. It's an acronym. It stands for Get IDA, which breaks down Get Intelligent Data Analytics. Essentially, we're a technology company, and our claim to fame is helping Amazon sellers get the maximum FBA refunds or reimbursements that they're eligible to receive. So we focus on maximum recovery, and we like to tailor ourselves to simplicity. We consider ourselves a global leader in FBA auditing and reimbursements for the simple fact that we operate on a global level. So whether you sell on Amazon US, Canada, Mexico, UK, Germany, and so forth, we're able to help you there. We're also an award-winning company. We won the Gold Award from the American Business Award for our dashboard technology, because even though we have a whole team of humans working on your behalf to make sure that the manager claims the reconciliation claims with Amazon, it's all been translated to a dashboard where you can track and monitor their progress. And like I mentioned, we have a dedicated team of claim specialists. A big part of our team, much like Chris McCabe, they're not from the seller performance side. They're actually more, they're all from the FBA reimbursement department. So they help us a lot with their knowledge and the ability to manage the claims, handle all the back and forth, the lingo, and also make sure that we're terms of service compliant throughout the whole step of the way. We track and monitor our recovery rate. It's more than 70% at this point. So for every 10 cases that we're gonna open on your behalf, more than 7 cases should get paid and reimbursed. And we like to make our solutions affordable for all sellers of any size and any stage and any form and every whatever, because we like to joke about it. We like to say that we're equal opportunity auditors because it's free to join GETIDA. It doesn't cost anything. There's no subscription. You can cancel at any time. We strictly charge a fee from successful recoveries. So let's say we were able to you were able to connect to GETIDA. We're going to go back on your account 18 months and we're going to find discrepancies. We're going to open cases with Amazon to manage them. Amazon will pay you, let's say, $100. Our fee is 25%. So we got you $100 and you never had access to before. 25% from $100 is $100. That's what we got you this month. Next month we got you $0. You pay $0. So it makes it a very, very affordable solution for all sellers in any size or stage. I see something in the chat. Let me take a quick look just to make sure. Okay, that's fine. Okay, very good. All right, let's keep moving. Where can you find GETIDA, right? So you can also find GETIDA in the App Store. What does it mean? Well, it means we're an authorized solution provider by Amazon, which means we have a double commitment. We have a commitment to you, the sellers, but also to Amazon to make sure that we're terms of service compliant, but also, data security, private policy, and everything. You can also find us in Amazon SPN because we're in the service provider network. The reason is because we're not a tool and we're not a software. We're actually a solution that uses software and a dedicated service team to create the solution. Our technology finds an issue. Our dedicated service team handles a problem, and that creates a solution. The solution is that you get the money back that you owed in reimbursements. Okay, now we'll jump into I guess a few announcements. I guess the best way to earn more money or more profit is actually to be aware of what's going on, and hopefully maybe save on fees and stuff like that. So there's a few quick announcements that are coming up on there, and June 1st is kind of a big breakdown of things that are about to change. So I want to put this to your attention. It's kind of important. FBA removal orders and disposal order fee changes. In June 1st, the fees will change. So if you have your inventory, your inventory in Amazon's fulfillment center and the FBA centers, and you want to do a removal, you want to take it away in your warehouse to your warehouse or a 3PL warehouse that you use, the fees are about to change. They're about to increase. So that being said, if you want to save money, you better act fast, okay? Because before, let's take the first year just for example. Right now, if you take your item out and it's less than half a pound, and you'll pay about 25 cents per unit, right, to ship it out. But after June 1st, that's gonna get, the fee is gonna increase to 32 cents, okay? And as you see the whole flow here, this is what we're paying now, and it's just gonna be more and more expensive very, very soon. So you got maybe 2 weeks to act upon it. So if you have any dead inventory, you got to get out of there. Act now. And the best way to save money is not to pay it at all in advance. So if you can pay cheaper on your removals, do it now. Be attentive to that. That's the first announcement. Here's the second announcement. Okay, FBA manual processing fee changes. Okay, guys. So what is that? What's FBA manual processing fee? So a few examples to that. I'll give just a few. Let's say you shipped your product in, and Amazon tells you, I need you to, let's say it's a shirt. It's a beautiful dress shirt. You ship it in. Amazon needs you to actually ship it in with some poly bag, right? That's usually what they want with clothing, a poly bag, so it keeps the product clean. If you don't put the poly bag, Amazon will put the poly bag on your product, and they're going to charge you an FBA manual processing fee. Okay, so before June 1st, from the months of January and October, you're going to pay 10 cents a unit per every unit they ship in that needs, let's say, poly bagging or labeling or taping. And also, actually, the most importantly is that actually, that's kind of the biggest thing. When you ship products to Amazon to the fulfillment center, they want box content. They want to know what's going to come in each box, which SKU or ASIN, and how many units. If you give it to them, you're not going to be charged any fees. If you don't, they're going to charge you a fee per unit. So once again, from January to October, it's going to be 10 cents right now. From November, December, it's 15 cents. But June 1st, boom, it's increasing. And it's increasing actually dramatically. So a regular year is going to go to 15 cents per unit. But November, December, Christmas season is doubling down to 30 cents per unit. So think about it for a second. If you're not telling what you're going to ship to Amazon and on November, December, after these new fees, let's say you're shipping 1,000 units, you're going to pay $3,000 for no reason, just because you didn't tell them what's coming in. If you're shipping 100,000 units, you're going to pay $30,000, I believe, right? Am I wrong? It's about 30%. So yeah, it's about $30,000 in fees for FBA manual processing fees just for not telling them what's coming in. So be attentive, very, very attentive to these fees. Avoid them at all costs. For two reasons, actually. If you don't tell them you're going to pay all these fees, that's the first hit. The second hit is actually will take Amazon longer to receive your inventory into their fulfillment center and have it ready to be sold online. Okay, so be attentive to this change. Once again, right now in this zone with this tier, June 1st is more expensive. Just avoid altogether. But if you're not, you just be aware you're going to pay more fees very, very soon. Okay, FBA small and light fee changes. Okay, so in June 1st, the following FBA small and light program fees will take effect unless otherwise noted. They're going to increase the weight limit for FBA small and light from 10 to 12 ounces, which is great news. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this, but there's a special program called FBA small and light, where you can register a certain type of SKUs. So you have one ASIN and they have two variations. One is regular, you just ship it to FBA, it's all good. But then you can take another SKU and register it to be part of the small light program. And if you do, what's going to happen? Amazon is going to charge you less fees when they fulfill the order. So Let's say you order, they pick it from the bin, they package in a box, they ship it out, they charge you a fulfillment fee. Under the small and light program, they're going to charge you less, usually like a few dollars less. So that's huge saving for the sellers. So be attentive to that. So this is actually good news here. Now to be eligible for the small and light program, if your product was 11 ounces or 12, you're not eligible, but now you are. So be attentive to that. If your products are selling in this weight tier, so add them up. Why not? Save a few dollars every time you sell a unit. Let's say you're selling $1 unit, and throughout the year you sell 10,000 units. It's $10,000 back in your pocket in savings. So that's pretty great. Also, they're increasing the size limit. Okay, on the longest side from 16 inches to 18 inches. Okay, and the median side from 9 to 14 inches, and the shorter side from 4 to 8 inches. So to sum it all up, on the weight level, there's an increase, works in your favor. Same thing for the dimension. Okay, the sizes of the product. Okay, they're also going to eliminate the packaging weight adjustment to a rate card calculation. Not sure too much what that means, but it means that you're going to save some money. Also, they're going to align the product size tiers with the upcoming changes. Core for 12 ounces below fulfillment. Okay, we will continue charging 10 cents per. Doesn't really matter. The main juice is really on the top two, where if your products are 11 or 12 ounces, they're eligible to save some money. And if they're 17, 18 inches on longest side, now you can throw into the FBA small light program. So I hope that's helpful, because it's going to save you a good amount of fees. All right, a few more before we get into gear. 2021 FBA returns processing fee changes. This page, okay, on June 1st, we will make the following changes. They're going to reduce the return processing fee for customer return products in the apparel and shoes category. This is actually very, very huge, because these categories suffer from a lot of returns, a high return rate. For like shoes, for example, it could be 15 or 20% a return rate for sellers, because, consumers will buy few sizes, size 39. Actually, that's more European. Let's say size 9, 10, or 11. And then, if size 10 fits great, they're going to keep the size 10, and then they're going to send back the size 11 or 12 or whatever, right? So so because of that, sellers are suffering with their margins. Amazon is going to reduce the return processing fee for customer returns fees for apparel and shoes category. Huge, because every time the consumer returns unit, it's a few dollars. I think it ranges between $4 or $5 and up. So every time you get a return, you're going to save those fees. I think that's great news. So be attentive to that. So maybe the caveat to all this will be, maybe you should be a bit more bullish on sending products with the apparel and shoes category to FBA and jam it. Also, they're going to eliminate the returns processing fee for customer return products on watches, jewelry, luggage, handbags, and sunglasses categories. Great. Same thing. So here, there's processing fee. Here's the return fee. So just guys, when consumers return your inventory to Amazon, when they want to process a refund, there's two types of fees. Okay, a processing fee and a return fee, which are both very painful. So here, Amazon is giving you the opportunity to save on it, use it, bear it in mind, and enjoy that. It's pure juice. I used to sell in those categories myself, so I wish I had this kind of a luxury back then. It would save me a fortune. So that would be nice. Liz, you got a question? No, got it. Okay, no worries. I saw you smiling, so I thought maybe you had something to add to that. All right, so let's keep moving. All right, this is, I think, the last announcement. This is more on the European side. So I don't know if you guys are ever involved in there, but I used to also sell on Amazon Europe. So for any of you who are involved in Europe, here's a few points to consider. Starting March 1st, so already started. They're going to reduce the customer return processing fee by 15%, 50, for clothing, shoes, and bags, and will completely remove this fee for jewelry, watches. Once again, this is in Europe. Everything I said so far was in the US. Now it's in Europe, almost close to the US. Here they kind of said, we're going to give you a 50% discount on the return processing fee for clothing, shoes, and bags, but completely remove this fee for jewelry and watches. So it's kind of half-baked in Europe. Referral fee promotion on clothing, shoes, and bags. The current referral fee promotion, which reduces the referral fee from 15 to 7% on the portion of total sales for prices that are larger than 45 euros or 40 pounds for clothing, shoes, and bags. Okay, they were originally scheduled to end April 30th this year, but they're going to extend it essentially for another year. Make long story short, if you're selling these categories, any product that you're selling above a certain price point, they're going to reduce the selling fee from 15 to 7.14%. That's pretty cool. Good savings. Once again, if you're selling these categories, be more bullish, raise your prices, and hopefully you'll sell and you make more money, more margins. Last thing, FBA new selection program. Okay, so here, long story short, 20,000 sellers opted into sending new types of ASINs to the fulfillment center. And because of that, Amazon reduced a lot of their fees, right? So let's see which fees were reduced. If you send brand new ASINs to Europe, okay, you're gonna get free storage, no removal fees, customer return processing fees will be removed, inbound benefits on the eligible standard size ASINs, which are brand new. So this is a signal from Amazon telling you, send us more new juice, new ASINs, more selection. We want more selection in these categories. We're not gonna charge you all these fees around. So they're gonna extend that. They had a nice success with it last year. They're gonna extend it again. And also they're gonna increase the limits from 50 to 100 units. Okay, and the storage fee waiver from 90 to 120 days. That's pretty much it, and it applies to United Kingdom, Germany, France, Italy, and Spain. That's kind of the core 5 of Europe, even though they also have like today Sweden and Netherlands, stuff like that. But this is the core of Europe. In the meantime, okay, quick announcements. I hope it's helpful for all of you to save money and make more profit. Now, high level overview of FBA auditing and reimbursements. Okay, this is kind of important to know and be familiar with the rules of the game. Okay, this is kind of the high level breakdown of the things that can happen with your inventory when you ship it to Amazon to the fulfillment center. The basic of all basic is called FBA inbound shipments, right? You want to ship 1,000 units to Amazon's fulfillment center, you did. Amazon, instead of receiving 1,000 units, they only receive 990. Okay, that's a discrepancy on an FBA shipment, inbound shipment. Now you can open a case with Amazon, tell them to investigate. If they find the 10 missing units, everybody's good to go. If they don't, they're gonna provide you with the reimbursement. Okay, so you're eligible to get a reimbursement, so make sure to do that. But the time limit to reconcile the shipments in the US is 9 months, and it's limited to a more narrow time frame to 6 months in Amazon Europe. Okay, so be attentive to that. You got 9 months in the US and 6 months in Europe to reconcile the FBA inbound shipments. Then once your product's already in Amazon's fulfillment center inside the warehouse, right? The units can get lost or damaged or destroyed. That's inside the center. Also between the centers, sometimes Amazon might shift your products from lovely Virginia, which Liz is located, all the way to California, where we got Robbie located, all the way to Massachusetts, where Lee is located. So all these transitions, once again, your inventory can get lost or damaged. You got 18 months to reconcile that. You can go back 18 months. Think about it. If you're gonna go right now back 18 months, you're gonna hit 2 Q4s, the Q4 of 2020 and Q4 of 2019. So anything that got lost in the warehouse or between the warehouses, you're gonna be eligible to get reimbursements for that. So you should probably take advantage of that. But also not just in the warehouse and between the warehouses, also between the warehouse to the consumer. When there's orders come in, things happen there. Consumers back to Amazon, also known as refunds, returns, stuff like that, which is kind of over here. So you got 18 months on that as well. And also for the removal orders, FBA removal orders, when you take your units out of FBA to your own warehouses. So you got 18 months to reconcile all these types of issues: loss, damage, destroyed, refunds, returns, and removal orders. You got 18 months to look back. Great opportunity. Amazon's very fair with that. Definitely highly recommend you to audit, find all the issues, and submit claims. Of course, if it's too much for you, it's too heavyweight, there's solutions out there that help with that. It happens to be that GETIDA, we're one of them. We'll always be happy to help you if you ever need. Last thing here is the weight and dimension fees discrepancy. Okay, this one is kind of a catchier. It's limited to 3 months, to 90 days. And what's the weight and dimension fee discrepancy? I'll give an example. Let's say this beautiful product is a phone cover. It's less than a pound and less than 10 inches. And every time Amazon picks it from the bin, they package it in a box and ship it out. They could charge a fulfillment fee, or they call it a pick and pack fee. Let's say based on this weight and dimension of less than a pound and 10 inches, they're supposed to charge you $3. Instead, the information that they have on your ASIN and your product is incorrect. So they think instead of this being 10 ounces and less than a pound, they think it's 100 pounds and 100 inches. Okay, so it's very, very large. So all of a sudden, instead of charging you $3, they're going to charge you $10. So they're financially overcharging you $7 per unit every time they pick and pack a unit and ship it out when the orders come in. So let's say you sold 1,000 units, $7 times 1,000 is $7,000. That's a financial discrepancy on the weight and dimension fees. Okay, you got 90 days to reconcile it. So you got to be very prudent and reconcile it every 90 days. Because if you don't, let's say you only reconcile this once a year, and you found out that throughout the year they overcharge you financially $100,000, but in the past 90 days they only charge you $30,000. That's all you're gonna get back, the $30,000. The other $70,000 is gone and lost forever. So once again, this is our FBA recovery overview. Make sure to audit, be prudent. Whatever you're eligible to receive in reimbursements, go get it and enjoy it. And GETIDA, we strongly advocate the sellers to get the maximum that they're eligible to receive. because effectively, if you don't, as a seller, you lose two things, right? The first thing you lose is your investment, all the money you invested into the inventory. That's the first loss. And the second loss is profit. And why? Because when it comes to reimbursements, Amazon is actually very generous. When they pay you a reimbursement, they pay you the retail value of your product. They're not paying you cost, they're paying you retail. So by getting everything that you're eligible to receive, you're shifting a double negative momentum to a double positive momentum where you're getting your money back and all the profit. So keep that in mind. This is kind of the name of the game here, with the opportunity to make more profit. Here you guys have, if you want, kind of free tools, right? They're available at your disposal. You can always go to getida.com and click on free sign up, and on the left, and you'll get free access to our dashboard technology. And in our dashboard technology on the left side, you can always click on pick and pack, and you'll have instantly the Amazon's data on your ASINs, on your product. So you can be able to actually see what are the weight and dimension Amazon things you have for each ASIN. And if, of course, you see anything that is not in your favor, take action. Take action. Make sure to do two things. Reach out to Amazon so they can update the weight and dimensions. So going forward, they don't overcharge you. You stop the bleeding. And of course, calculate how much they overcharge you in the past 90 days and get that recovery back. Once again, this is a free tool, but if this is too much for you of a headache, we can do that for you. You just give us the information. You can do it manually here or in bulk with a flat file. And it's going to trigger us to take action if there's a discrepancy that is not in your favor. Let me take a look here. Thank you for that, Liz. I see you put something in the chat. All right, so this is a free tool for you guys. You are welcome to use it. It's free. Why not? Next, a few more free tools here. You can just visit getida.com/ebook. You get actually a suite or a package of three things. The first thing is the ebook. The ebook is going to focus on how to read an Amazon income statement, because Amazon's data about what's going on with everything that they're giving with money. So when you get paid by Amazon, you have a little statement. It's not really clear what they're charging you for. So the whole breakdown is a whole science. So this book really focuses on where is all the money going, right? It's going to this fee, that fee, all this kind of breakdown. So how to read an Amazon income statement. The second thing you'll get, which is, for your convenience or for your discretion, is a profit and loss template. Because, this book is going to try to focus on all the Amazon fees, but then you got to also focus on all the fees or the overhead, the business costs that you have with your own business. So you want to reconcile that so you know exactly how much you're making or with profit or loss, right? So because the whole intention of this presentation here is to make you more profit. So how do you know you make more profit if you don't have the right tool or fundamentals? This tool will help you. It's a free profit and loss template. And the last thing will be another tool that touches the last thing we touched, which to track your winning dimension. Just an Excel file. You're going to be able to put your winning dimension. Always download Amazon's data and track it. So you should just visit getida.com/ebook. You'll get this package of tools, free tools for your convenience. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it. Okay. Once again, a little quick focus on the refunds or the refund booster for the profit. Here we're gonna move into the phase where we're gonna touch a few things high level, and then we're gonna give you a case study of what's the positive impact of good, healthy FBA auditing that's being executed. So high level with FBA refunds or reimbursements, right? So just so you know, guys, statistically speaking, we find out that on an annual basis, we find that the discrepancy rate can range between 1% to 3%, right? So what does that mean? So if you're an Amazon seller and you sell about $1 million a year in FBA, 1% to 3% of all these discrepancies, FBA discrepancy, means that you're probably owed between $10,000 to $30,000. If you're doing 100 million, 1% to 3% is 1.3 million. So that's kind of the opportunity that's available with FBA auditing and reimbursement. So make sure to get that back. As mentioned and discussed before, Amazon allows up to 18 months for most types of issues to get your money back. So do not miss out. Of course, if you are dealing and handling with the cases and you open cases with Amazon and they reply to you and asking for more information, stay very attentive to that. Don't think just because you find an issue, you open a case, and Amazon's just going to pay it out. It's not going to happen. You have to be attentive. They might need more information. They might ask you for, let's say, a bill of lading, a proof of delivery, a packing slip, an invoice, whatever it is, to kind of approve your claim, or they just don't even understand what you're saying to them. So you have to repeat yourself maybe in a different explanation or angle so they can approve your claim, your case. So stay attentive to that. Don't just spray and pray, we call it. Just spray out claims and pray that you're going to get paid. Just be professional about it. And here's a kind of a quick snapshot of, why would you need help with auditing FBA, right? So this is the kind of a list of all the issues that we look into. If any of these issues kind of look foreign to you and unrecognized, this probably means that you're leaving money behind. Okay, so the idea here is that, you do everything you can do to get all the money that you owed, and then we can really come in and whatever you're leaving behind, because you don't know what you don't know, we're going to be able to know for you, recognize it, audit for it, and then open and manages the cases until you get paid. So basically, we could take the tiers away, we come in the middle, and hopefully put money back in your pocket. And it's very convenient because we only get paid if we're successful doing it, right? So you do the maximum you can do. We're going to come after, get you all that juice that you missed, and only if we're successful, we're going to charge a fee. So here's a quick case study of the positive impact of successful maximization of FBA reimbursements. So here we have a seller that does about $18 million a year in revenue, and sold about 300,000 units, of which 9,000 units got affected with, all the inventory got lost, damaged, destroyed, disappeared, disposed, charged with all these fees, all these bundles. About 9,000 units got affected, which puts it on the spectrum on the 2.8% from annual revenue. 2.8% got affected, so puts it on the higher end of the spectrum what we discussed earlier, which is 1 to 3%. GETIDA, we came in, stepped in, and helped them get 1.5% back, okay, in reimbursements, which translated to $151,000 in reimbursements. Okay, so 151,000 in reimbursements pushed the bottom lines positively for the seller by about almost 11%, 10.92%. You see why? Because before GETIDA, the gross profit was 1.3 million, and then when we added 151,000, boom, it pushed the bottom lines by about 11%. So this is the first round or the first dip of the positive impact, right? But here, if we jump into the left side, there's more positive impacts that are available for you guys to consider. So this is two consideration. One consideration is if you're wearing the hat of selling your Amazon business, right? You want to make an exit. Super hot topic, super hot thing that's going on. We got all these aggregators coming in and buying Amazon sellers. So think about it for a second. If you're selling your Amazon business and somebody wants to buy it, what are they buying? They're buying your profit. So and they're gonna pay you a yearly multiple for that profit. So if you made $1 million, they're paying you a 3x multiple. They're gonna pay you $3 million for your business. So here, think about it. We're able to give back 151,000. So if you're selling a business, this 151,000, let's say you got a multiple of 3, 4, or 5. Now it's worth much more. It's worth $450,000 or $600,000 if you're selling a business. So it's hugely positive impact if you juice out everything that you owed, right? And the second hat is if you just bought an Amazon business, you might be an aggregator or just, you're a very smart, savvy entrepreneur. You just bought an Amazon business. So think about it. What can you do? You bought this Amazon account. You're going to have the opportunity to go back 18 months, and whoever sold it to you wasn't prudent enough to get all that's they're eligible to get a reimbursement. You can get it. Take it for yourself. And let's say you just bought this account and you're able to go back 18 months and juice yourself by another $151,000. That improves your ROI, your return on investment dramatically. So it gives you another positive impact if you're wearing the hat of the buyer. So once again, if you're just a random seller, this is dramatic by its own means, 151,000 and 11%. Of course, if you're about to sell, boom, multiply it. If you just bought it and you can grab this from the seller that gave it to you, boom, another win. So hopefully this is helpful for you guys to consider, to be familiar with how smart entrepreneurs are playing their cards correctly and juicing everything that can come their way positively. And of course, if you want a little bit of an incentive here to, I guess, give us a shot and try us out, we actually create an offer for you guys. So you can always visit GETIDA.com or GETIDA.com/BMUG, which is Boston Meetup Group, I believe. B is for Boston, M, Meetup Group. So GETIDA/BMUG, or just visit GETIDA.com. When you sign up, just put this promo code, which is BMUG400. What's going to happen is pretty simple. The first $400 that we're going to recover for you in FBA reimbursements will be absolutely free. You're not going to pay us a penny. So after you get your $400, if you're happy with the results, you want to stay, you're welcome to stay. If you want to leave, that's fine as well. Our mission is really, really, really simple. We just want to empower you, give you back what's yours, all this liquidity, all this money back. Hopefully you'll take it back. You're going to reinvest it in the business. Invest in your next product launch, or invest in a software that can take you, advertising software, let's say like Ticometrics, okay? Help you with that cost, or help you put that money back into your ad budget. Spend more, advertise your products more, and boom, increase your sales. That's kind of the dynamic that we're looking for when we're assisting our sellers. And of course, if you ever need me personally or you have any more questions, you can reach out on GETIDA.com or just email me directly. It's YoniM@GETIDA.com. That's kind of in a nutshell. I hope you enjoyed this, found this valuable or helpful to maximize what's available for you in the marketplace, and just really rock and roll going forward.
Thank you, Yoni. That was great and succinct and compelling. And I don't know why anybody would want to leave money on the table with Amazon.
Nobody wants to leave money, but the honest truth is some entrepreneurs or sellers, not all of them, are just too busy. They're just chasing their own tail. I've been there. All the Amazon sellers, I know what it's like. You're dealing with like a million moving parts all at the same time. A notice here, suspension there, product launch, the supplier. It's coming from all fronts. So really, just so you guys understand, to set up with GETIDA takes maybe 5 to 10 minutes, depends how savvy you are. You clutch it, and then we do all the heavy lifting, and then you just move on. Our whole ambition is that we basically want you, the sellers, to be able to focus forward, work hard, and focus hard on all that magic that creates a business, right? You are the genius that creates a business, which is the product, the branding, the value for the consumers. Our part is pretty simple. We're like archaeologists. We want to go back with in time, see what happened, come in with our little toothbrushes and rubble in the sand, and only if we find a golden coin or a golden nugget, put them back in your pocket. And only once it's in your pocket, then we're going to get rewarded for that work. And that's kind of the dynamic that we're offering the sellers out there. So if you're too busy, I agree. But if you want to help with that, 5-10 minutes, and you'll be on your way to go back to the flow.
But Yoni, is there a monthly fee for GETIDA?
Nope, free to join, no monthly fees. Once again, if we got you $100 back this month, our fee will be $25. So we'll charge you $25. Once again, next month we got you $0. You pay $0. You want to leave, you can leave. Very flexible, very transparent, very open. It's purely focused on value. If we're valuable, we get rewarded. If we're not, the time and headaches and investment is on us.
I knew that answer.
Oh, you did? Okay, just making sure.
It was a plant.
Yeah,
Well, I
it's
just wanted to
important
make sure
highlight
he
because people are
mentioned
so used to kind of paying subscriptions, so it's kind of important to emphasize that there's no subscription here. It's what we call PPR, paper recovery only. So you're only paying for performance. So if we perform well, we get rewarded. If we're not a problem at all. So it's no reason for concern for the users.
Yeah, we'll make sure that's in the slides 2.0.
No, I think I put it up there. I call it make it affordable solutions for all sellers of all sizes, because it's free to join,
Absolutely.
kind of free to stay. You can stay, so you can stay with us a whole year. We got you $0, you paid $0, but all of a sudden we'll flush you with 10 grand. You're good to go. Plus, like I mentioned, the first $400 is on us. So it might take us a day, it might take us 10 years to get you $400, but that's a guarantee. That's guaranteed money that's going to come your way. So you can try us out, see that it's really real. Of course, once you plug in, you see the dashboard, you see that all the activity that's going around, the cases that are being opened, what's the status of each case, did it get paid, did it get rejected, is it still pending, how much money we recovered for you in the past 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. It's pretty cool because you can focus on everything that you want to do, and you can come in at any time and see the progress of the team that we have dedicated to you and how they're working. Because there's a whole in the background, behind the scenes, there's a whole army working on your behalf, but all that work is translated to a dashboard, which is very cohesive. You can check in real time at any time what's going on, which makes it kind of rewarding because you always check in, you see more and more money kind of piles in. It's pretty fun and good for the sellers. It's almost like investing in a Robinhood stock, and you always can see it kind of come up over time. So that's the only analogy I would put that's close to the experience that we hopefully provide. Don, how does that sound?
Sounds potentially interesting. I mean, I guess my thought was really get it to set up, and I guess you answered that. Just a few.
Yeah. Just a question for you: Were you even aware of all these things, or this is all complete out of the blue for you?
No, I mean, I'm aware of a lot of these charges, but I don't really spend a lot of time looking at that.
Yep, that's the thing.
And frankly, I'm spending a lot more time on the vendor side looking at stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah. So high level, we see that the world of Amazon sellers is kind of split 50-50 in the middle, right? 50% of the sellers are not even aware that there's a problem. Oh, Amazon makes a mistake. No concept, no clue that yes.
Well, I assume they're making these mistakes on the vendor side too. It just gets rolled up into this is your breakage cost or whatever.
Yeah. So in vendors, a little they call it compliance, right? There's also a compliance auditing for vendors. So You shipped $1 million, they might do a chargeback of I don't know, $30,000, $50,000, saying, oh, you didn't package it correctly, this and this and that. There's auditing for that. If you can provide compelling evidence, they'll actually credit you back for those chargebacks.
So do you guys do auditing on that stuff?
We used to, but because we grew to, we're already doing this for 6 years with GETIDA. We established in 2015. Today, we're the largest organization in the world dedicated just for this niche, the Amazon FBA auditing and reimbursements. We don't have capacity, to be honest, to do vendor, because the thing with vendor is it's very tedious and cumbersome because you're working with so many data points. Not all carriers are created equal. So you're doing many types of carriers. You can't scale that data. But when you're dealing with Amazon FBA, it's uniform data. It's Amazon's data. It's all the same for all the sellers. So we can really scale up and build a technology to do it on a massive global scale on finding the issue. That's the first component. But the second component is have a dedicated team that clutches it. They take that data, they open it with, they present it to Amazon in an attempt to reconcile things, and they manage all the back and forth. Some cases are easy. They might get resolved in a few hours, but other cases might take, a few days, a few months, but sometimes also in rare cases, even more than a year to reconcile and resolve. And the combination of technology and a dedicated team, that is how we kind of provide the solution. And that's our hard focus. So we stay in our lane for that. So there's other providers for vendors. So if you ever need, I can make some introductions. I hope that helps.
Thank you. Yeah, most of my clients are doing vendor, and then a lot of the product's big, so there's not actually that much FBA.
Got
it's
it.
Like it's ship direct or ship in their own warehouse kind of thing.
You got it. If ever issues on the FBA side, we'll be happy to help.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it really it helps to boost the bottom line because you never expected it, and it comes right into the bottom line because no really costs attached to all these financial recoveries. So it makes it very, very compelling and very juicy. We got also Roshika. I don't know if Roshika wants to say anything or there's questions, thoughts.
Sahil had to go, but said thank you, and we'll be in touch.
Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, no questions about Roshika. Rob, second day on the roll. How does it sound? How does it look like?
No, good.
First time you see me present, by the way?
Actually, yeah, it was. Yeah, and today I only caught half the podcast with Sharon. So I was kind of in and out trying to answer questions for everybody. But yeah.
Didn't you interview him for your podcast before?
Who, him?
Yeah, well, that was actually Dawn did. But yeah, I was kind of emceeing it and stuff. But I had him actually scheduled for the podcast like in another month. So, but now I got the new podcast. So
maybe I'll get lucky. I'll be in your new podcast.
I'll have to look. I don't know if you'll make it on there. It's a very tight schedule and
I'll talk to your boss. We'll see what we can do about
I set the bar very high for people that come on. So
gotcha. I'm gonna start working harder.
I got you, Liz.
Okay, but so if this is recorded in small, I guess I can dive into this a bit more now. Like GETIDA, right? So it's probably very clear to everybody what we do, what's the value, what's the mission, what's the purpose. But I can also share with you, if you guys want, how we got to all this. How was this born, right? How this organization was born. So quickly, in a nutshell, almost a decade ago, I started selling online with my partner, which is still my partner today, the co-founder of GETIDA. His name is Max Boren. And a decade ago, when we started selling it, we the main event or the main platform was eBay. Started selling on eBay. And then 2013, we started selling on Amazon. And very, very quickly, the business grew from 0 to 20 million in annual FBA sales. And then we became a part of a larger group that altogether as a group, we sold about over $100 million in FBA sales. And what happened was that we kept on finding all these discrepancies, and we have so much volume, so much data, it pushed us to create technology to audit, right? And also to create a dedicated team to keep clutching it and managing it. So we built a solution for ourselves as sellers. And then what happened was we kind of shared with our friends from the industry who also were sellers that we have these capabilities, and they told us, help us, we'll pay you. And that was the early genesis of GETIDA back in 2015. And then over the years, it was just growing organically from one, I guess, happy user to another, until we were faced with two kind of a dilemma, right? We have two successful companies. One is in retail, one is in technology and solutions. And with retail, we felt like we peaked. We reached, a certain high level, which is very nice. We're comfortable with. And if we ever quit, we can always come back to it because nobody can really take away what you know how to do. So it's almost like an insurance policy or like our diploma. But with this technology and solutions, GETIDA, we have the opportunity to help so many entrepreneurs and sellers around the world. That's very compelling. So we took a leap of faith. We cashed out our retail positions, and we focused all of our energy, skill, motivation, focus just on this vessel called GETIDA. And then with a few short years, we were really able to take kind of a leadership on this little niche and really fulfill a mission of helping so many others. So yeah, that's how, in a nutshell, how we got to this position today. Liz, how many times you heard this? You interviewed me also, so I think,
A couple,
yeah,
just a couple.
yeah.
But I think that it says a lot that you have field experience, you know, and you saw a need for this, you created a solution, and that's how all of the best solutions were formed, you know. I
Yeah,
mean,
the solution was pushing my career. That's what's interesting. The fact that it was so helpful, you know, being able, all these sellers getting back all this money, it improves their bottom lines and they fuel their business. Just kept signaling to us, keep doing it, keep pushing yourself to do more and more. It's an interesting dynamic for us.
well, when you think about people that came from the seller space, you know, I mean, Alistair, who is the CEO of Takeometrics, was one of the first third-party sellers. He was selling out of his dorm room at Harvard.
Yep.
And he was like, gee, you know, there's software that's needed. And so we became a software company, and that's what he ended up doing. Chris worked at Amazon, suspending people, and then got done with that and said, hey, people need help getting unsuspended because they really didn't know how to do it when I was busy suspending all those people. So yeah, that's where the solutions come from. That's where on our side of things, that's where the entrepreneurial spirit is we identify a pain point, we try to solve for that pain point.
I guess, yeah, to add it to that, I guess it helps with the calibration. The way where we're calibrated as a solution provider is very, very detailed and the precision is very, very good because we made from the cut. It came from the cut. It's not doing it from the outside. It's kind of building it from the inside. So the precision level is very, very good. And hopefully that brings the impact, the positive impact that everybody kind of needs and hopes for. So yeah, I relate to that. I always, when sellers come with all these types of pains, you know, Don was earlier asking all these things, I feel the pain like on my body. Or, you know, the flat file issue, the you know, the brand registry and the brand name. It just, all these things just resonates with me because I've been there. I've been through all these struggles, and I'm always excited about what's the angle, how to, you know, go around that, fix that, move on from that. Because there's all these cuts and bruises, like what do they call it? You know, 1,000 cuts, death by 1,000 cuts, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I so feel like I've been operating in a vacuum, and it's just not the way to go. It's much better to find people that are trying to do the same thing.
That's the beauty about this industry,
Collaborate.
is that it's a collaborative industry, and
100%.
that's why I love it so much. I mean, I didn't know anything about e-commerce. I was a freelance writer, and I got a LinkedIn message, hey, will you edit this ebook? And it was about the 4 post-purchase emails you should send to your Amazon customers. And I was like, wait a minute, people can sell on Amazon? And so I found a guy that was a friend of a friend that was doing retail and online arbitrage and looking to branch into wholesale. And I was like, teach me what you know and let me hook the software company's tools up to your account for free so that I can make more money writing for them. And caught the bug. I definitely didn't catch the RA bug. That was not my jam at all. But he was taking the wholesale formula course by, you know, Dan Meters. And then I started looking into private label, and then I got to know brands, and I've been obsessed ever since. But I've been inside Seller Central. I've created shipments. I've done all that kind of stuff. And I've just tried to help this community as much as possible because I've never felt at home like I do here. And I feel like that's what this industry creates. That's what it's created, is that it's a place for people to help each other. And I'm a really big nerd about it, like huge nerd about it.
Yeah, I
I'll
was
get if you don't make me stop.
Yeah, no worries. So I was speaking to a buddy of mine earlier, actually, just before this session, and he was mentioning he came from the industry of brick and mortar retail, wholesale, stuff like that, dealers, brokers. And he said, you know, from that industry, everything was very cutthroat and nobody shares anything. If you know of a good supplier, this, you don't share. You keep it to yourself, you juice it, you move on. But here with the digital age, with e-commerce, with Amazon, it's such a humongous market. And sellers don't mind sharing with each other. They go to all these forums, you go to all these groups, like this meetup group, and they flush out all these challenges that they're having. So whatever you flushed out, Don, it doesn't hurt me to help you. It really doesn't. You're gonna sell in your track. I'm gonna sell my track.
Right.
Obviously, we're not gonna share the simple suppliers, pricing, whatever, marketing, whatever. But all these cuts around, you can raise it up, and you're gonna get a lot of help and support, and that's very, very good news and exhilarating to be a part of for the sellers and also for us. I guess on the solution providing side, we learn so much. It's such a multi-channel, multi-stream approach, because sellers keep on flooding up with all these challenges. As we strive to solve them, we learn so much, and actually it opened me up much more. I think we discussed that earlier, Rob, right, with Christina, that once you're a seller, you're very narrow to your problems. Once you become a solution provider, you hear all these issues from all over the place. It really opens you up with your capacity to help others.
Yeah, Don, you came on at the right time. I mean, this whole room right here, there's so much knowledge between us. I could tell you right now, my eBay account, 1998.
Started.
And my other second eBay account, because I had a business and a personal one, 2001. I mean, I've been in e-commerce over 20 plus years. So I've seen and pretty much done a little of everything.
I think I need to get you a bigger G. My G is bigger than yours. You need to get a bigger G on your background.
I mean, I literally have physically been into 100 factories in China, physically. So I've been a lot of places and seen a lot of stuff, done a lot of stuff. So, and I'm happy to share. That's why I do my podcast too. Mainly it's like, I want to share all this information with everybody. I mean, I created an entire company on sharing information that I sold in 2018. I mean, I was the first one to post a YouTube video on how to take apart an iPhone ever. First person ever.
A lot of stuff at Rite Aid.
Wow, cool.
So
a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So there's a ton of knowledge. You did the right thing showing up today. Look
yeah,
at
I can't wait for in person. And I mean, I enjoy, hanging out.
Yotel, here I come.
Yeah, we're hopefully this summertime, depending on how everything opens up.
Well, and we're hoping to do some sort of event in the fall. And if you're planning to go to Prosper, I've got a coupon for $100 off. If you are interested in that, just email me.
Okay.
At the email.
Well, I'll get in touch with you anyway, and
yeah,
what you're doing.
But you want to talk about being in the room with the people that know all the stuff? That's the place.
Yeah,
it's the biggest room.
To share.
It's a nice variety. You got the advertising technology, you got suspensions, you got some FB auditing. I mean, it's a good mix.
Everything here.
Yeah, it's a good mix.
But don't you think you should go to the Prosper show?
Well, that's a must.
Absolutely.
No doubt. You're gonna learn a lot. You're gonna meet a lot. You got network.
Who on the call here is in the Boston area at all? Is anybody? Oh, Leah is.
Yeah, Chris is as well. He just couldn't make it
you were
tonight.
Traveling around the world, so you're back.
Sorry.
I saw in your LinkedIn profile it said you were traveling around the world.
Oh yeah, well, so I still do, but Boston is my base, and I got stuck here in the pandemic. So I'm actually traveling to Australia straight from Prosper.
Good for you.
But I'm here for the next few months.
Okay.
You're essentially a digital nomad, as far as I know. When I saw you physically 2 years ago in the hotel in Boston, that's you're a butterfly.
Boston is one of my hubs, but I'm usually only here for about 5 months of the year. Obviously 2020 was a little different.
Those 5 months are they in the winter side or more the warmer side?
I try to avoid winter. Last winter was my first winter here in about 6 years. So I usually go the perpetual summer route. So I'll go to the southern hemisphere.
So you're playing with the equator, huh? You're running away from the cold.
Yeah, but I'm doing it the wrong way this year. I'm leaving summer and going to winter, but it's Australian winter, so it kind of doesn't count.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's like
Australia sounds to me any time of the year.
here.
Go to any time of the year. Australia sounds like a dreamland of some kind.
Yeah, I have to. They have a mandatory quarantine in a military secured hotel, so I have to do that for 2 weeks.
They have a military? I didn't know that. Okay, good.
Wow.
Yeah, they're not screwing around. That's why they don't have cases of COVID there.
Right, so you're right.
Yeah, I think the top 3 countries in the world with the or safest for COVID is Singapore. Actually, top 4. That's the reason I know it. Singapore, New Zealand, Australia, and Israel. I think Israel is number 4. That's what I know because that's my origin.
Yeah, Australia and New Zealand have a bubble. So if you quarantine in one, you can then travel freely between the two.
Yeah.
But anytime there's a case, that bubble gets closed.
Yeah,
you pop the bubble.
Yeah. Our office in Israel is the only office where people have been going into the office. The office in Boston I think they're just going back in June. But Don, we do have a lot of Takeometrics employees in the Boston area because that's where our home base is. But we have offices in
I've been there. Yeah, I've been there. I went to visit Alistair back in 2016, 17. Very nice office.
Well, you'll get to go visit him again pretty soon. But
Hope
wait
so,
till
hope
I'm
so.
there because
Great.
I'm gonna come too. Not full time.
Yeah, let me know when you know, and we'll round up Chris if Leah is in that part of the world. We'll do a nice roundup.
Yeah. And then there's actually quite a lot of Amazon people in Boston. We were just talking earlier, like half of the aggregators seem to be based
Exactly,
here.
Walpole. It's not really Boston, but Boston area, right? Walpole,
That's
Massachusetts.
Boston.
That's the headquarters of the Thrasio Almighty.
Right, yeah.
Trivia question: what's Thrasio mean?
I don't know.
Anybody? So Thrasio is one of the goddess of the Amazon jungle.
Oh,
Finally
Clever.
got it yesterday. Finally
That's
got
good
disclosed.
because I
So
never
it's
asked
Amazon
Ken that.
related. It's Amazon related, yeah.
Oh, now.
So Ken, I
Didn't
met
know
Ken
that.
first time in the Boston Meetup group 2 years ago in May. Was it May 2 years ago? And then
Yeah.
I was there doing a presentation. He had his team with him. I don't know, like 10 people. Every
Yep.
little thing I'm saying, they're running down. Like, who? And these guys look like they came from Procter and Gamble. Like who are these corporate people running every little thing I'm doing? Like I said, Thrasio. I'm like, Thrasio, well, they're buying business. I'm like, all right, good luck to these guys. And they blew up like monsters. Like Ken is
They
like a
did.
super G right now. Yeah, good
Yeah.
job. These guys are thorough.
Perch is in
awesome.
Boston too.
Huh?
Mhm.
Perch is in
Who,
Boston
Perch?
too.
And Channeled, is that the other one?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, it's all
guys,
over.
I actually have to run and get my daughter, but it's really nice to meet all of you, and I would love to attend another event.
Oh yeah. Well, you're in the meetup now. You'll get the notifications and definitely email me. I'll get you in touch with some people and I'll also get you that coupon. Think about going to Vegas in July because that's
Okay, Vegas in July, right? It's
Yeah.
all
Come
indoors.
sweat with us.
It's indoor. It's indoor, so it should be all
yeah.
right.
It's
Air
not
conditioning.
an outdoor event. It's an indoor event.
You won't regret it. It'll be really fun.
Well, that'd be great.
Lots of good events, sub events there too. So
It's good to meet all of you, and I really appreciate you letting me ask, pepper you with questions. So thank you.
Super
Very
to
much.
meet you.
have a good one, Don.
Take
Yeah,
care,
nice
Dan.
to meet you.
Much luck. Much success.
All
Okay,
right.
Liz and Leah, what do you guys say?
Rashika, if you don't have any questions, I think we're gonna shut it down.
Yeah, it's time for dinner for me.
Yeah, I
Eat
bet.
dinner at 5
Yeah.
o'clock. Good job.
Yeah,
So,
I
start
think
start
I'm
dinner.
good. Thank you so much. I think I'm good.
Okay,
great.
thank you
Well,
so
thank
much
you for
for taking
joining.
the time.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's nice to see you all.
Nice to
Yeah,
Same here,
nice to
same
see
here.
you or hear you.
see
Okay, Liz. Okay, Leah. Thank you so much. Any last words?
Well, I think that you're a rock star considering this was like what your 8th hour of live today.
Yeah.
I think the 6th or 7th. I'm actually fuzzy now, but I can open up a beer and just crash on the.
I said to Robbie, I was like, how does he not look tired?
Seriously, he
I
he
always-
goes and goes, and I'm usually known for that. And he like outdoes me. So
I'm ready to pass the torch, but
no problem.
yeah, just I always tell Max because he saw me earlier, like, because I also got a haircut, I took a shave, so it's like I'm getting married today, all these live events. But I told him you can see the age and the eyes.
Yeah,
Oh,
always.
fun.
You see the
Yeah.
age and the hours and the
Hold
eyes,
on.
but
Casey, is that better?
yeah. So once
Yeah,
I'm
just have to stay back.
yeah, safe distance. I'm at a safe distance,
I
so
think I'm the oldest person here.
No,
I doubt
I got
it, I
you.
doubt
We've
it.
already talked about that, Liz. I got you beat.
he's 50. So good luck
Yeah, I'm
with
50. I'm gonna be 51 this year.
Okay, you got me beat.
that.
Yes, I know I do because we talked about it.
Right. I forgot that we talked about that.
Yeah.
It feels like, I mean, in most situations, I'm the oldest one.
Why is that?
That's me. I usually feel the oldest one.
In
But
our
that's okay.
space, I feel like everybody's around.
Carlos is 45 or 6. Alvarez, as far as I remember.
Yeah.
Jeff Cohen
I guess
is
with Tika, everybody's like right out of college.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody's, like, super
everybody's so
young at
young. My
Tika.
manager is 10 years younger than me.
Alistair is probably my age. Yeah, I think he's my age, 36.
Yeah, Alice
37.
your age. So I'm 44.
Oh wow, I didn't. You don't look. You look much better. I mean, you look much younger. I mean,
Yeah, you just work at a very young company.
I do.
Keeps us young, right, Liz?
It does.
yeah. But I was about to say, how old is Jason Mcgee?
I'm kidding. McGee is
How
like
old is Jason McGee?
he's like 12 years younger than me. So he's your age.
So he's what, 30? What? So
No,
30.
he's 32.
Oh, he's younger than me. Okay. Yeah, but you guys have the CRO, revenue officer. He's a PO. You worked for, I don't know if he's still there. I remember from 2016, 17, he worked for Sonos.
Nope.
No, he's not there anymore?
Nope.
Yeah, somebody worked for Sonos. He looked like he was over 50. We got Jeff Cohen. How old is Jeff Cohen from Cell Labs?
I think Jeff's like,
I don't want to
Over
answer
50,
because I
right?
don't know.